More than 4 billion years ago, vast bodies of water enveloped the Earth. These immense volumes, constantly in motion, facilitated the emergence of life and are now indispensable to the survival of our society. Playing a role in numerous natural processes and significantly contributing to the global economy, the ocean witnesses its resources dwindling day by day. For centuries, humans were oblivious to the significance of the oceans and exploited them for their own benefit. However, that era came to an end. Scientists have recognized the urgency of the situation, and influential figures worldwide are striving to inform both the public and government before it's too late. We are three biology students from the University of Rennes in France. Through our study, we have become increasingly aware of the human impact on biodiversity. Nevertheless, we have come to realize that the oceans, which we once thought we knew, are actually suffering more than we could have ever imagined. Hence, we have decided to contribute to raising awareness through the documentary, which delves deeper into the reality of the oceans. You will journey through testimonies to uncover various aspects of our oceans, starting with their economy, fishing practices, and the impact of pollution on their biodiversity. We will also rely on the opinion of Gabriel Beuvelot, bachelor and second years at Rennes School of Business.
To begin, I would like to quote the French economist François Pérou, who said, "The economy is the science of expansive development of the outside world." Speaking of the outside world, the seas and oceans are obviously not spared. Since the 80s, all sectors linked to the marine economy have continued to develop. The value of world maritime trade, for example, was estimated at $130 billion in 2016, compared to just $8 billion in 1976. Commercial transactions and ocean-related activities are now valued at $2.5 trillion. This economy encompasses various sectors such as maritime transport, coastal tourism, aquaculture, fishing, and exploitation of marine resources. According to data from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the marine economy has experienced significant growth in recent decades. Between 2010 and 2030, its contribution to global gross domestic product is expected to increase by nearly 1.5%. This growth is driven by various factors, including technological innovation, expansion of maritime activities, and the growing interest in the sustainable use of marine resources. This growth is driven by various factors, including technological innovation, the expansion of maritime activities, and the growing interest in the sustainable use of marine resources.
How important is the ocean economy compared to other sectors?
So right now, ocean economy is substantial, and it is projected by the OECD to grow up to 3 trillion by 2030, encompassing activities such as shipping, fishing, marine tourism, and more.
However, the expansion of the marine economy also poses challenges in terms of sustainability and preservation of the marine environment. The human impact on the ocean has become a major concern, with problems such as plastic pollution, overfishing, loss of coastal habitats, and climate change. These factors threaten the health of marine ecosystems and compromise the long-term viability of the entire marine sector. To promote a sustainable marine economy, concerted efforts are needed globally. For this, the priority actions are the promotion of marine conservation, the sustainable management of marine resources, investment in marine renewable energies, the promotion of research and innovation in the maritime field, and promoting responsible business practices. As for tourism, it is a crucial element of the maritime sector, generating significant revenues and offering economic opportunities in coastal and island regions. Activities such as diving, whale watching, and cruise tourism attract millions of visitors each year, creating jobs and stimulating local development. However, marine tourism requires careful management to prevent overcrowding and protect fragile ecosystems. Sustainable practices such as regulating tourism activities and creating protected areas are essential to ensure the long-term conservation of marine resources and the sustainability of this industry. In short, the marine economy plays a vital role in the global economy, but its growth must be managed sustainably to ensure the long-term health of the oceans and the communities that depend on them. By focusing on preserving the marine environment and responsible business practices, it is possible to promote a prosperous and sustainable economy for future generations.
The ocean has an undeniable economic impact on our society, primarily through the valuable food resources it provides us. On average, a person consumes twice as much seafood today as they did a century ago. This dietary shift has led to a significant increase in the production of these resources, with global production quadrupling over the past 50 years. To give an overview, current production is estimated at 200 million tons, of which 60 million tons are produced exclusively in China, compared to just 70 million tons in 1990. There are many fishing techniques, each with varying productivity and environmental impact. There are 8 main techniques: pollen line, long line, gill nets, purseine, posts and traps, dredging, pelagic trawls, and bottom trawl. The most commonly used fishing technique is bottom trawling, accounting for 1/4 of fish catches. Unfortunately, it is also one of the most environmentally damaging methods, with a high rate of bycatch and seabed damage. While widely used in China and India, its use is declining in Europe, partly due to its prohibitions in deep waters from 800 meters deep. Conversely, techniques such as pollen line and gill nets have a very low environmental impact. Changing our approach to fishing and promoting sustainable methods could help protect our oceans, but this would require a complete restructuring of the fishing industry. Fish is an important source of proteins, nutrients, and vitamins. Although these benefits are demonstrated worldwide, there are significant variations in consumptions from one country to another, influenced by factors such as culture, geography, and economics. For example, the biggest consumers of fish are Ireland, the Maldives, and Hong Kong, with an average of over 70 kilograms per person per year, while in countries like India or South Africa, consumption is less than 10 kilograms per person per year. Animal proteins from the sea represent an average of 70% of our consumption, but this percentage reaches 70% in Cambodia and 60% in the Maldives. In addition to its nutritional importance, fishing is also crucial for employment, providing livelihoods for millions of people worldwide. Approximately 60 million people are employed directly in the fishing or aquaculture sector, with 50 million only in Asia. Many other jobs are also indirectly linked to fishing, including in food processing, sourcing, and fisheries management. However, intensive ocean use poses numerous ethical and ecological problems, especially overfishing. Views on sustainable fishing vary. Some people consider that fish should have rights to animal welfare, while others primarily see them as economic resources. These divergences raise crucial questions of sustainable development. Currently, most fishing policies and industries focus on maximizing profits rather than preserving fish populations. Despite the introductions of regulations, about 35% of fish stocks are overexploited, and nearly 60% of the remaining stocks are being fished to their maximum capacity. In a context where the demand for fish continues to grow, overfishing has become an increasing problem. Organizations like Seaspiracy alert on the risks of these practices. It says, if current fishing trends continue, we will see virtually empty oceans by the year 2048. Additionally, the lack of data on fishing in certain regions of the world, notably in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, makes it difficult to accurately assess the situation and make forecasts. However, there is evidence that the implementation of effective regulations can have a positive impact on the conservation of marine resources. In developed countries, fish stocks show signs of recovery, highlighting the importance of sustainable fisheries management policies for preserving marine biodiversity. Can you tell us about laws put in place to protect the oceans?
So I know of 3. So you have the United Nations Convention on the Law of Sea, which is a framework, a regulatory framework, that help protect marine environment. You have the MPAS, which are marine protected areas. So, as I've said, we need to be better enforced, but they are supposed to be here to protect the halieutic resources, whether it is because there are protected species there, or that a species needs to be left alone for it to reproduce again and whatnot. And you have the Marine Stewardship Convention, MSC, who is there also to regulate some areas, some fishing company, and some other entities.
In the vast expanses of our oceans, there is a threat that often goes unnoticed: plastic pollution. Once praised as a great convenience of modern times, plastic has now become a widespread danger to marine ecosystems all around the world, with serious consequences for the animals that live in them. As we look deeper into this problem, we found that our oceans are filled with plastic. Every year, a staggering 8 million metric tons of plastic find their way into our oceans, which is like dumping a garbage truck full of plastic into the ocean every minute. This flood of plastic waste is a serious danger to marine life, from the smallest plankton to the largest whales. One of the most well-known victims of plastic pollution is the sea turtle. These ancient creatures who have been traveling the ocean for millions of years are now facing a new danger: plastic debris. Sadly, many sea turtles mistake plastic bags and other debris for food, which leads them to eating it and suffering serious, sometimes deadly consequences. More than half of sea turtles worldwide have eaten plastic, causing them internal injuries, blockades, and even starvation. Pictures of sea turtles caught in discarded fishing gear or struggling to breathe because of plastic waste are powerful reminders of the harm caused by our use of plastic. But sea turtles aren't the only ones affected by plastic pollution. Marine mammals, including majestic whales, playful dolphins, and charming seals, also suffer greatly because of our plastic waste. Over 800 marine species are harmed by plastic pollution, whether they eat it, get tangled in it, or lose their habitats because of it. The situation is particularly dire for marine mammals, with more than 70% of them ingesting plastic at some point in their lives. From seals caught in discarded fishing nets to dolphins choking on plastic bags, the suffering of marine mammals is heart-wrenching and needs urgent attention.
However, there is still hope. People, communities, and organizations all over the world are working together to fight plastic pollution. They are coming up with new ideas like beach cleanups, recycling programs from plastic, and promoting alternatives that are better for the environment. These efforts are making a real difference and are showing us ways to have a cleaner and healthier ocean. But the fight against plastic pollution is far from over. It requires all of us to work together and make big changes, like using less single-use plastic and improving the way we deal with waste. As we face up to this challenge, it's important to remember that the fate of our ocean is tied to our own fate. By protecting marine life and keeping our oceans healthy, we're also protecting the future for ourselves and for generations to come. In the words of Sylvia Earle, a famous oceanographer, no water, no life. No blue, no green. Let's listen to her call to action and do everything we can to make sure that our oceans stay vibrant, full of life, and free from the harm of plastic pollution.
In conclusion, as we reflect on the profound journey through the depths of our oceans, we are confronted with a stark reality. Our oceans, once teeming with life and opportunity, are now in peril. From the emergence of life billion years ago to their pivotal role in sustaining modern society, the oceans have been an integral part of our story. However, our relentless exploitation and neglect have brought them to the brink of collapse. Overfishing, plastic pollution, and habitat destruction threaten not only marine life but also the very foundation of our existence. But there is hope. Communities are uniting, advocating for change, and working towards sustainable solutions. As stewards of the planet, it is our duty to join this collective effort and ensure a future where the oceans thrive. In the words of Jacques Cousteau, the sea, once it catches pearls, holds one in its net of wonder forever. Let us embark on the journey with humility, determination, and reverence, ensuring that the magic of our oceans endures for generations to come. For in preserving the ocean, we safeguard not only the diversity of life within them, but also the very essence of our shared humanity.